Hello and welcome to episode 11 of Fort Fritz. I'm going to let you in on a bit of a secret. We are going to scare you. We will scare the heck out of you, right out of your pants. So if you think you like your pants you're wearing, you're going to want to just jump off this podcast right now. No
or
hard
jump
feelings.
out of your pants right now.
Either or, we hope you relax and get comfortable because we're going to spook you. You are listening to Fort Fritz. Well, hello, guys. As you can see, I am joined by co-host Mandaddy.
Hi.
Nick Spry. Hello. And Kaz.
Hello.
So I'm going to surprise all of you guys right now with a little camping in the woods. We're going to go back into these back 12 acres, and we're just going to do a little bit of a camping. We're going to set up site. We're going to camp.
Okay, because I guess it can't be scarier than what we already experienced inside the house. So what would be a bad idea about going into a dark forest? Seems like a great idea.
That was my feeling. Exactly.
All right, we have any supplies for this trip, or are we just going to...
Like beer?
Go old school? Well, yeah, beer.
I have a Swiss Army
obviously.
knife.
We definitely have
We can
supplies.
use that to open the beer.
Yeah, we can.
We also have a bottle opener. All of the cans are pop top.
Oh, all right.
But if we
Thinking
find
ahead.
beer,
The whiskey and screws.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, and that's cool too, right?
Right.
So if we
Technology.
find beer that's in bottles, we can always open it.
I heard wild beer does have, hard to open cabinets.
Is this a beer forest?
Could be.
Everyone packed up?
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a beer.
Everyone's got the canteens filled with beer?
Indeed.
Alrighty.
Those are beer teens.
Beer teens? Let's get on going now.
Jumping along.
This is
Going through the path here.
still scarier the more... Even I thought getting away from the house would make things less scary, but
What
it's
are
not
these
really.
trees and
Yeah.
vines? These vines are so thick. Like, this
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
It's ridiculous.
There's that one little patch of sunlight coming through up there if you look up to the left.
Just barely filtering through.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those are a bunch of bird skeletons on that limb. That's not kind of rooted.
Oh, yeah. It's looks like it's a murder of crows. Okay.
Or a murder of crows. That
Okay,
crow
yeah.
murder was murdered.
That's not good.
They look pretty intricately placed.
The vines don't look right. They look almost like they're moving while we're walking past them.
I don't like it.
Well, that one's a snake.
That's a snake. That's a snake. That's a snake. Get away from the snake.
Okay.
Don't touch it. Okay, let's just keep...
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
Okay, I put a sign in the road here. Okay, let's just go left.
Okay. Of course
All
we're going
right.
left.
Come
We're going left.
Gotta go left.
You're on the NASCAR podcast.
West.
Okay. Yes.
I hate when people
Is
say
it
that.
west?
When you're asking for direction, they go, "You just go west." Don't tell me west. Just tell me
Right.
left or right.
Well,
Tell me,
okay?
yeah,
which
exactly.
way west is.
But we don't
Yeah.
have roads. Out here, we don't need roads, Marty.
We don't need no stinking roads.
Exactly, because now we're at the campsite.
Oh, look at that.
I
I've
was
already...
like, what, 10 feet away from the house? I
Oh,
guess we
it's-
should have seen that.
I always want to make sure that everything's okay with the house.
The house
Angela's,
doesn't care about you.
Angela's out for the week. She's at a convention. So we're just
Wait, she
going to
does leave the house?
Yeah, well, that's what she
came
told
in.
me.
Did you see her leave, or did she just like close the door and all of a sudden she was gone?
She put a note up.
She does talk about Fallout a lot.
She does.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's understandable.
The game or like actual nuclear
no,
fallout?
No, I think she's at a con.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Let's go ahead and crack these wooden branches.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's some nice cracking you got there.
Thank you. Let's crack open some beers. Am I right?
That's the type of cracking I'm talking about right there.
Got a couple logs here.
Nice wood. Get it?
I got some
You were mentioning that was genitalia joke, right?
But it literally. Yeah. Yeah. I guess I didn't think of it that way.
Oh, really?
I have a little tinder here.
Yeah, we need some kindling. We definitely need some kindling. Just these giant logs that Kaz have is not gonna really catch fire without something a little underneath it. Thick,
veiny logs.
I said I have a little tinder, not a little grinder.
Ooh. I see what you did there.
I also have gasoline. If that doesn't light
There you go.
fire.
Put on the boom boom juice. Add the boom boom juice to the logs. Put the boom boom juice on the logs. All right, and just throw this match on here. Fritz, why don't you throw this match on it?
Let's go.
Whoa!
Oh, yeah.
That went much faster than I
That
expected.
was way faster than I thought.
Way
faster.
That thing is burning bright.
Yeah, it is.
Get the alcohol away from the flames, please.
Yeah, let's
Well,
back
that would
away
be
a
pretty
little
much
bit.
most of my body, so I need to actually go back inside the house. Maybe I don't know. This is not.
We'll just sit pretty far away. Like
All right,
Way
come
far away.
back,
All
man,
right.
Daddy, come back.
Fritz, I think you lost one eyebrow.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's scorched off. The left one.
My eyes are watering too.
Yeah.
Now you only look half confused.
I don't get it.
You ever notice how the smoke just follows us wherever, like,
I hate that.
wherever we're going around this thing? I'm trying to circle away from it. I can't get away from it.
It seems more aggressive than your normal fire. It actually seems like the smoke is like just coming straight at us.
I put too much fire juice on it.
No, you can never have enough boom boom juice.
Ugh.
No, boom boom juice is good. We're not cooking anything on our way.
Not yet.
Did you bring food?
You got
Yeah,
food?
maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, who wants to know?
Are we going to grill fresh burritos?
The rest of us?
No, we're not going to
I
grill
will
fresh
take a fresh
burritos.
grilled burrito, please.
They're frozen. We just have to let them thaw.
Stick it on the end of a twig and hold it over
Just
the
do like
fire.
patio burritos, but do them like marshmallows.
It's like s'mores.
Yeah. Yeah.
right,
We call
I'm
that a
in.
Tijuana s'more.
It's starting to get dark out here, guys.
Yeah, it is kind of getting dark. I mean, this is the kind of a creepier location.
Well, I mean, we started the fire and we're kind of getting into the mode. You guys want to tell a couple of stories
Oh,
here?
some spooky ghost
Some
stories.
ghost stories.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know,
pass the
mister.
time.
I'm scared.
It's okay, buddy. It's okay, little buddy. Come sit by me.
Oh, thank you.
There you go. Right
This is
under there.
comfy.
Tuck in, right under the wing.
Ooh,
All right.
that's warm.
So, seeing as how we're in Florida, and we have all kinds of weird, creepy local legends and things like that. I think one of the more intriguing ones and one of the more popular ones is that of the Florida Swamp Cabbage Man. Have you guys ever heard of that guy?
No.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I have. I'm a native.
Right.
Yeah.
Most natives have probably at least heard about it in passing. He's a basically our Florida version of Bigfoot, or what some other people in Florida would call the skunk ape. And
Though there's some that say they're separate species too.
Right.
Because
and the-
Swamp Cabbage Man sounds awfully wet.
Yeah.
right,
It's swampy.
Yeah,
Right,
it
that
smells awful.
Yeah, it sounds like he's rather
Oh, there's a
stinky.
smell. There's always, and the same with the skunk ape.
Right.
Really?
That's sort of that's kind of the unique thing about these stories is they're all kind of woven together with similar threads, and they're all slightly different. And a lot of local archaeologists and historians point to legends, sort of Native American legends of the Sand People or the Sand Giants or these
Tuscan Raiders.
Exactly. That was so impressive.
And he was walking in a single file line when he did it.
Yeah. Sit back down. You're already drunk. You're crying
Actually,
out loud.
I did fill one of the canteens with gravy water. Did you hit the
I
Did you hit
knew
the
it.
gravy water canteen, or was it the beer one?
I thought it was just flavor crystals in my whiskey.
That's what I was going to say. Was there a chunky? Was it chunky? If it was chunky, it was the gravy water.
I guess the burn's about the same.
All right.
Did you have to hit the bottom of it like a ketchup bottle while you're drinking it? That might be gravy water.
Skunk ape, swamp cabbage man, they sound like they would be completely different things, and some people will, continue to try to differentiate between them. But basically, this is our local Bigfoot legend. It's a large, 8 foot tall, 700-pound gigantic gorilla man or giant covered in fur. The sightings have just been extremely prevalent throughout the state. Everyone says that they've seen one, basically, and so much so, in fact, that in April 1977, Florida legislature introduced a bill to protect the elusive skunk.
No
man-ape.
kidding, really.
Government at work.
Let them breed!
The law stated any person taking possession, harming, or molesting any anthropoid or humanoid animal which is native to Florida, popularly known as skunk ape, or doing any act unreasonably capable of harming or molesting animals. So they've kind of folded in this conservationist law with some, hey, if you see the Bigfoot, we can arrest you for messing with him.
Leave the skunk ape alone.
Yeah, but using the word molest just always. I mean, no, legally.
Well, it's
but
like,
still,
I think that if it's a swamp cabbage man, it's what he described in size. It's going to be molesting you before you're going to be molesting it.
There was a
Right.
woman a couple years back that actually tried to ride a manatee. Do you remember that? And
Yeah,
she
she's
was,
called an idiot.
She was arrested for molesting a state-protected animal. Yeah.
So,
molesting,
do
I
that
guess
thing.
is the legal term.
I would
Those of
love
you
if
that-
I saw her at Walmart just to jump on her back.
Did she stay on 8 seconds?
Right, you got to hit the 8 unless it's like not worth it. You're going to go to jail for like
Bet that
getting bucked
manatee
off
was
after
bucking
6.
on
Yeah,
left
for
and
sure.
right.
Again, sightings since people have been talking about, scary stuff in Florida. In 1935, some people excavated. What they saw was a thigh bone with a normal.
Was it connected to the knee bone?
No, it was by itself. However, it was the length of an entire normal person's leg.
What?
Just the thigh bone. Similar findings in the area. These were sort of Indian or Native American mounds where they kept sort of, their burial mounds where these skeletons and stuff were being collected. Some people reported pulling human skulls from these mounds that were at least twice the size of a normal person's head. They would be able to fit them over their own heads.
Ooh, and what era was this again?
1935 is when these.
But what a geographical location?
Oh, right around the St. Johns River.
Right on St. John's. Okay.
Yep.
Back in the 30s, did they know about dinosaurs?
Dinosaurs, I think there were still a couple around in the 30s, so they might have been able to see them if they went to, more exotic
Like Dinosaur
areas.
World, probably?
They had like
Triceratops, RS.
Yeah, but
okay.
It wasn't like spread out knowledge. They didn't have the internet back then, right? Not everyone knew about dinosaurs. It was sort of it was an in knowledge kind of thing.
You had to be hip.
Yeah.
Square?
Or have a library
Didn't
card.
we do Cruel to Be Kind? And,
Yeah, we did Cruel to Be Kind last time.
So again, more sightings, and they follow along a sort of similar pattern. People out in the wilderness, people see this thing, and they get this intense aroma of skunky rottedness, and this is like the sort of unifying factor. Some people have, there's discrepancies on how big it was, on where they saw it, how it moved, but this sort of ubiquitous thread throughout all of these stories is it stinks, and it's it's gross. It's gross, and it's big, and it's frightening.
Big, gross, and stinky.
So,
Do you think Swamp Cabbage Man is really self-conscious about the way he smells?
After a while,
he's in the swamp.
He just wants,
I mean, maybe he's being really friendly. He just stinks, and no one wants to be around a giant fart, I mean, so he's just trying to run alongside and say hi, but no, everybody starts going away because of the big old stinky stink.
I kind of feel bad for him now.
Yeah.
Like,
It's tragic.
Yeah. I mean, Florida's got enough, bad press. We don't need our monsters to be the stinky ones.
if there are any hairstylists out there, just please reach out to us. We want to hook up this Swamp Cabbage Man.
With a nice shampoo and a blowout.
Makeover!
Oh, yay!
Thank you. We could have rolled this from the get-go.
This is a being that is like naturally just sort of inhabiting the wilderness. Why do we need to force our concepts of beauty and like social acceptance onto it to make it smell like we want it to smell and look how we want it to smell?
Reality show.
Kaz,
For the ratings, all right.
although I appreciate that sentiment, shut up, because I think it would be amazing.
It would be a good show. I'll give you
Come
that.
on. It's watchability right there.
Psychologically traumatizing to the animal then.
I mean, come on, you shave the thing and you basically have the Kardashians.
Also, I'm going to rat on all of you guys because I can take you to jail for trying to molest the skunk ape with your makeovers or whatever.
Oh, true.
So,
molasses.
It's not molestation if you're bettering the creature. She hopped on a manatee. She didn't give it a bath.
All right.
I like it.
Point taken, I guess.
True.
Yeah.
Debate it.
Argue that in a court of law. I dare you.
Yeah.
The most intriguing encounter that I read about was one that happened in February 1971.
Okay.
A couple of archaeologists were excavating around the Big Cypress Swamp, which is in a pretty remote area. There were 5 men, and they had a camp out in obviously the woods or the swamp, wherever it was that they could get some decent land. And this thing crashed into their camp and basically destroyed it. And these 5 archaeologists, these are men of science, right? Like learned men. They all 5 said it was a 7-foot tall man ape with white fur all over it that just had the most disgusting stink to it, and it would just seem to want to destroy their camp and leave. It didn't really.
If you smelled that bad after a while, you just want to destroy everything.
Just like getting upset.
Yeah, if you just put it all in the under and everything, just fine. Like I stink. You wouldn't understand. Leave me alone. It's genetic. You wouldn't understand.
Not even Febreze could help this poor soul.
That'd be a great campaign for them. Like, even if Febreze can even take out a swamp ape.
Yeah. And the swamp ape goes, it's true. Hey!
So the thing I thought was most interesting about that account, obviously, these are multiple eyewitnesses that all were out there for, for all intents and purposes, a scientific expedition. They were out there to find, some bones or whatever, potsherds or whatever they're looking for out there. And they all saw the same thing, and they all saw something that was sort of slightly different than your normal encounter. Everyone else goes, it had dark brown fur, black fur, it was very dark, and all these guys out of nowhere. It was a white skunk ape that came at them.
Wow.
I don't know. It was very. I don't know. It seemed strange to want to buck the trend. If they were going to try to get in with, a hoax or something, why make it so specifically different, right?
Yeah. And in 71, Bigfoot wasn't as prevalent a thing. That's usually about later 70s.
Yeah,
no, not 80s, but like 76, 77, because I was around then. There's that didn't really become popular until TV shows like In Search Of and stuff like that came on.
So they were showing you like the plaster footprints and stuff like that.
And so to like those almost like they were coming out with their own IP. It's like they weren't even copying someone else. I think maybe they just got the idea at the same time. Maybe
I can see that.
But and the fact that it's the 70s, not like the 20s, where people will just believe I saw a dog, it's a demon,
right?
But I think there's accounts that are older than that too.
Oh yeah, I mean they go back again. They go back to
that this account in the
Native
70s,
But yeah, it seems strange to me that they all kind of all agreed that it was this white skunk ape in the middle of Florida, and it seems like something you'd be able to kind of see and would be. So maybe I don't know. Maybe they're out there. Maybe they're wandering around.
No.
You guys hear any rustling out there in the?
I don't know.
Oh God.
Look for red eyes. Supposedly he has red eyes. Jim Phillips talks about Swamp Cabbage Man, that they're extremely fast, he says, that they'll run alongside your car.
Oh, my God.
And with his red eyes, and you can't look into his eyes. That's another part of the modern side of the road.
Well, he has just...
Safety first.
He means like bloodshot eyes, because Swamp Cabbage Man is either really tired all the time, or
really
hungover.
stoned.
AF. 100.
Maybe that's why when he stinks, he just smells like the dank, yo.
Yeah.
He's just like a dirty hippie who's just been out all the
It's like patchouli, to the max.
Ooh.
Which is bad. Yeah, that is terrifying, really.
He's taking just a little swamp shower.
Treads just
Under the
matted all
armpits,
over his body. Just
paper
a smelly
towel.
hippie.
I don't know if you guys have worked up a thirst yet, but I've worked up quite an appetite. And I've got something in store for you guys. You're going to really like it. First, let me reorganize the campsite, because this is not to my feng shui, okay?
All right.
So let me take a little break. It's going to be awesome, I promise you, okay?
Cool.
All about it.
You're listening to Fort Fritz. All right, you didn't believe me. You thought I was just joking. You thought I was just putting you on. But this is now the story that you should walk away from if you like animals, if you love animals, and especially if you don't eat meat or any kind of animals. If you're vegan, please run away. Welcome back to Fort Fritz. We're just having a good old time singing our favorite Michael Jackson songs.
Around the campfire, as we're wont to do.
Yep, the flame has now gone to a nice, respectable crackle.
Yep.
Nothing too outrageous.
A little crispy.
Enjoyable.
Nice.
Nothing too bad. So, guys, you guys want to see the first treat that I brought for you guys?
Yeah.
I smuggled this out of the Felix liquor cabinet.
That guy just keeps giving, doesn't he?
Yep. Thank God. This is a crystal skull.
Okay.
Filled with brown. So I don't know what it is. So, Man Daddy, go ahead and do the honors.
Of course, I'd be the one to try it, because who's not ready to drink something brown out of a skull?
Let me know how it is.
All right, here we go.
He's tilting it back. Taking a big old gulp.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's a ringing endorsement. All right, I'll take a sip.
Oh, Kaz.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, Ooh. You look like you just saw something naughty.
It's like the car bomb version of the gravy water. There's a lot going on there.
By the way, we here at Fort Fritz want to hear from you. If you own a bar and you want to make gravy water a special shot, reach out to us at 570-4RT-FRTZ.
Okay, the phone number is great, but I don't know if you've noticed this, but I just looked on Twitter, and it seems like Uncle Felix has a Twitter account, and it's still active.
What? No way.
Tweets?
Yeah, it's at Fort Fritz MCT.
When was the last tweet?
Very, very recently. Very, within the last, few weeks.
Jeez, are you kidding me?
No, so I think you need to look into that because it seems like someone might be tweeting from the grave.
Well, that's super creepy.
Yeah, just watch. Felix is going to get in some Twitter war with Trump.
It's going to happen.
What is the Twitter feed?
It's at Fort Fritz MCT.
M as in Mary, C as in cat, T as in Tom.
Yeah, I know, and we have no idea what those letters stand for, so you can tweet at us and let us know what you think those letters stand for. That'd be great.
At Fort Fritz MCT.
Yes.
And then also on Facebook, you can look us up at Fort Fritz, all one word.
We're all over the place. I just have to say that was, that was probably the most delicious fluid I've had out of a skull recently.
It was very whiskey.
It
was
very much
very
tasted
whiskey.
brown.
It was brown.
It was brown, for sure.
You could really taste the brown.
You guys want to know what the second surprise is?
Yeah! Hope it's as good as the first.
Spending time together. So, no. Yeah. I should have done that first.
I was really surprised by that.
I'm sorry.
You get a third?
Yeah, I do now.
All right!
I bought us some food.
Yes!
Nice. Finally.
Man, Daddy, are you okay?
Is that food from a Broadway musical you bought?
I bought
Baby.
I got the food. Who needs the food?
Me.
You need the food.
Yes.
Come get the food.
I need the food.
Burger Time, the musical. So what do you got?
I have chicken.
Okay.
It's always
That's good.
chicken.
Well, come on, chicken's cheap.
What's wrong with
Chicken's good.
chicken?
It's
Okay.
delicious. We go to the chicken joint all
And
the
it
time.
tastes like chicken.
Whoa,
Everybody
hold on, wait.
eats chicken.
Okay,
it's
wait.
fine.
These chickens still have their feathers on, man.
No, I know. I bought chickens.
You just bought live chickens.
Put them back in the cooler.
No,
Nick's brought
I
put them
don't
back.
think you're supposed to keep
That-
live chickens in a cooler. I'm not really, I'm not with PETA or anything
They're used
like that.
to it. They like it.
Yeah, definitely not free range.
If we're going
Better
to
than
eat
the
them anyway,
alternative.
they're going to die, right?
So we're
Correct?
basically going to eat agoraphobic chickens now?
Well,
Shut up.
I don't think that's the best idea.
I don't see a doctor around here, so I can't make that diagnosis.
But you're gonna have to kill it first. Usually, that's the first step in eating of an animal.
Kaz?
Would be the killing. And, okay, yeah, Kaz can do some chicken killing. I can see it in him. He's got some chicken strangling arms over there.
Well, no. Hey, guys, this might be a bad idea.
Why?
I'm considering everything that goes down at this place. I'm just going to put the Nicks on this trademark. Nick's Fry.
Ooh. Yeah,
I'm just going to Nick it trademark.
Nick is nixing this.
They might not die. You ever heard of Mike the Headless Chicken?
No.
Mike the Headless Chicken. Miracle Mike. Good old Mike.
Well, first
Miracle
of
Mike,
all,
they
If
call
it's going
it.
to be a miracle, can't they give it a better name than just Mike?
Well, no one really knows where you got the name, but Mike the Headless Chicken. So this story starts in Fruta, Colorado. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's the word fruit with an A on the end. Fruta, Colorado.
Fruta.
There's a small farming community in the Grand Valley in the central northwest of the state of Colorado. So September 10th, 1945. It's a Monday evening at the home of Lloyd and Clara Olson. Clara had planned to serve chicken in the evening as the family meal.
Oh, I don't like this already.
And so she bid her husband to go out and to dispose of one of theirs so that she could start the supper.
See, this is what you were supposed to do. This is what you had to do.
Right.
Well, now that I know that,
Fritz.
Okay.
Man, Daddy, you don't think that I feel an infinite shame now not knowing that?
I just feel better knowing you feel the infinite shame.
That don't make me feel better.
Well, he selected a 5.5-month-old, 2.5-pound Wyandotte chicken, Mike.
Mouth is watering.
he named it Mike before it was dinner?
No, I think
Which one happened? What happened to dinner?
creepy. That would
Larry,
be super
Mike, or
creepy.
Cindy?
That's
Well, that was
cereal.
my first sort of question about this story is like, what's, like,
name
how
came
could it
up
be
later. It
more
was-
strange than a chicken with a name?
I'll let you know when the name
Okay.
comes into play, but nobody really knows where the name came from.
All right. So an unnamed chicken was selected for dinner.
Yes. Chicken number 13
Okay.
was selected for dinner.
Unknown chicken.
Lloyd was known like the unknown comic. Wears a paper bag on his head. So now Lloyd was aware that his wife's mother would be dining with them that evening, and knowing that she was particularly fond of the neck, he made sure to angle his axe to leave an ample portion for her.
Now that's a guy who knows his wife.
Right.
That's a guy who's like, my wife's really going to dig chewing on this neck.
Well, he was quoted as saying it was as important to suck up to your mother-in-law in the 40s as it is today.
Okay, words to live
Oh,
by.
his
Words to
mother-in-law.
live by.
I thought it was his wife. I'm
No,
sorry.
his mother-in-law.
Okay.
Also, never go to bed angry.
never. That's good advice. Good
I
advice.
only go to bed angry.
But
I'm just glad you don't wake up angry and tweet.
Oh, I still do.
The routine of killing chickens was nothing new to Olson, having a farm and having to perform sometimes as many as 40 kills a day. He would go down to the...
Yeah.
Well, no, he would
This is a chicken farm, so they sold chickens.
They had multiple things. Yes, he would sell the carcasses of chickens to the local meat market.
All right, so this is a man who knew
he was the Vlad the Impaler of chickens.
He knew his chicken death.
Right.
He knew his chicken death. Open to those guys in Tampa, by the way.
Chicken death?
So
yeah, good guys.
The expression running around like a chicken with your head cut off is for a reason. It is actually a somewhat common occurrence. Normally with the decapitation of the head, the brain is separated from the torso, and briefly, the spinal cord, nerves, and circuitry retain a bit of residual oxygen left in the body. So this is where the running comes in. The neurons begin to fire simultaneously without communication from the brain, and the involuntary reflexes kick in, and the actions initiate. But sometimes this could happen while the chicken's laying on the ground after its head's been separated, but occasionally they get up and run around, but no longer than 15 minutes at most.
15 minutes?
Still 15 minutes is creepy.
That's
imagine a person doing that.
That's insane.
Imagine 15 minutes of a headless person just running around your yard.
God, that's terrifying.
Oh, it is when you see it live. It's creepy.
But in the case of Mike the chicken, this was not so. Lloyd Olson's sensitivity to his dear mother-in-law's palate made him strike a little high on the neck. So basically, the hatchet came down that merely the beak, face, eyes, and one of the ears were severed from the rest of the body. The blow missed the jugular vein entirely, and only due to a blood clot did he not bleed out. The brainstem was left almost entirely intact, as well as part of the back end of the skull.
He just chopped this chicken's face off.
Yeah, basically.
What you just said.
He
if you look
defaced
at a chicken where its neck and its head end is very hard to distinguish.
Yeah, it's just all face and
I
head.
thought this guy was a pro, man. Like, this seems like a botched job. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So
his mother-in-law's at the house. He's a little bit nervous. He's a little on edge.
Dr. Tom Smolders, who is an expert in fowl at the Center for Behavior and Evolution at Newcastle University, was quoted as saying, "You'd be amazed how little brain there is in the front of the head of a chicken."
Or most people I know.
There you go. Count it.
So almost 80% of Mike's brain was left intact, including the medulla, which is in charge of homeostatic functions like heart rate, respiration, blood pressure, etc., enabling it to, through sheer luck, live and almost function as a normal bird would.
Almost function as a bird.
Yeah, almost function as a normal bird would. Immediately after,
how does this work? Yeah.
Immediately after his head was removed, he was still walking around clumsily, of course blind at this point, and trying to preen himself and trying to peck for feed.
Poor thing.
Watching a headless thing try to peck is such a bizarre physics experiment.
Well, what's even worse is that he would try to crow.
Oh no!
Yeah, this came as sort of a gurgling, like bubbling noise.
Oh my God!
Holy!
This is genuinely creeping me out.
Yeah,
now. It's like this is like very uncomfortable.
So when Mike persisted in this not dying, Lloyd,
and then he annoyingly continued to not die.
So Lloyd placed him in an apple box on their front porch, not knowing what to do with him for the night.
Finish the job, Lloyd.
Yeah.
Well, he was hoping that the thing would die. He felt
just
bad
run
about
around
it.
and die.
So
he could have just taken it out.
Right, you take one whack with the axe, and then you're like, nah, it didn't work. I guess it's meant to live. Like, break its neck or something. Finish it. You're going to let this thing... Whatever, I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's a little weird, but he felt bad about it, and he kind of was curious about it, so he decided to encourage this second lease on life for this rooster. And he began to devise a method of feeding him. He used an eyedropper with a mixture of milk and water and alternately small corns of grain to feed Mike through his esophagus, directly into his esophagus.
Dropping it right in there.
He noted that mucus would also build up occasionally in the bird's throat, and he would have to use a syringe to remove it to clear it out so he could breathe properly.
So he's doing his due
diligence.
Yeah, did he feel badly or any kind of remorse? He was pretty much nursing it back to life.
He was very impressed, and he was like, "This thing's going to live. I'm going to help it live."
Oh, I thought you said depressed.
Or no,
I'm
not
depressed.
And I can attest to that fact because Troy Waters, Olson's great-grandson, recounts that stories that Lloyd would tell him when he was a child, that he apparently took the bird into town with him on the regular, and he would often, go there to sell carcasses to the meat market, and he used to go to the bars and bet people that he had a headless live chicken out in his truck.
As you would.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's safest.
I would totally do
safest money in the world.
The more he won, more people talked about it. And eventually, word got to a local newspaper, and the story was picked up and interviewed Olson about the whole thing. And shortly thereafter, about 2 weeks after, he was contacted by a sideshow promoter by the name of Hope Wade. who tried to persuade him to make a little profit with the bird.
I mean,
a dude named Hope.
A dude named Hope.
I think that's the next Star Wars movie.
A dude named Hope.
And so Olsen, he ultimately hit the road with the Miracle Mike, as he was then dubbed by Hope Wade, on the Sideshow tour. And people would pay 2 bits a piece to get into the tent.
That's a good price for seeing a Headless Chicken.
A quarter. And Mike, at this point, was still very healthy, and he even grew. It's said in the 18 months that he survived without his head.
18 months without a head.
18 months. He went from 2.5 pounds to 8 pounds.
Oh, God. So he was like...
thrived!
Yes.
He was obese. He was feeding him too much to try to keep him alive.
Right.
And then he died of obesity.
Pretty much like rearing this rooster. It's a rooster, right? Yeah. Rearing this thing to be like a broiler hen. I can't. It's like not a hen though.
It's almost getting to the point where it's going to be a stew hen if there's too big. You're going to have to. The meat's going to be a little stringy.
I mean, it's not even like you can consider it like free money. Like he just happened upon this. The guy had to tend to this mutilated, horrifying little like zombie chicken for 18 months, and just like with the knowledge that it was him that did it the whole time. Like looking at him, like, I'm sorry, Mike. Like you gave him a name, and like you're hanging out with him, and you're like, I did this to you, man. Like I'm sorry.
But yeah, here's the thing. But if it's walking around, if it's gaining weight, what else does a chicken do? You know, it wasn't like he lost his love for poetry. No, it's a chicken. You know?
Chickens see, like they can like.
All right, Olsen.
Well, not blind chickens.
Olsen even was quoted as saying that, quote,
"Take that, Kaz."
Thank you.
That Mike was a, quote, robust chicken, a fine specimen of a chicken, except for not having a head.
Oh, hell.
That little minor detail.
Whose fault is that, asshole?
But they toured the entire country. They did a U.S. tour.
And you know what? Not many chickens would have gotten that opportunity. So even though he didn't get to appreciate it visually, maybe he sensed it in some way.
Yeah. It's not a college graduate, okay? It's not like it's touring the countryside.
His photograph was published in dozens of magazines, even in Time and Life magazine. They did a little write-up on Mike the Chicken. This was a very famous chicken. He was valued at $10,000 in 1946 and 1947.
He didn't sell? He kept him?
And was insured for that much.
Yeah, did they eat him after he died, though?
Well, okay.
Did they, someone did a weird Kickstarter to see if they could buy to eat Mike?
So, I feel like if you ate anything headless while it was still, if you saw something that was headless and it was alive and then it died, I don't know if I would want to eat that.
No problem.
Yeah. Meat is meat, man.
Yeah, bring it.
Well, in the spring of 1947...
I got a hatchet right here.
They were touring Arizona.
Put the hatchet down.
They were in Phoenix.
Please put the hatchet down.
Well, it's a visual aid.
Okay.
I'm using it.
Right.
Look, I'm gesticulating with it. In Phoenix, 1947, spring, Miracle Mike met his long overdue demise, but only due to the slip of a mind. So the very necessary syringe that I talked about previously to clear mucus out of his throat was this key point. The Olsens woke up in a motel to the sound of Mike choking, and Lloyd quickly realized that he had accidentally forgotten the syringe at the sideshow.
Stupid human.
And they couldn't find any sort of appropriate instrument to clear his...
Just pick him up and suck it out.
That's what I was going to say. You got to suck it out.
You got to go full. You got to go
full on.
Suck the thing out, man.
It's your prize pig.
Just act like it's like the head of a crawdad. Just get it right out of there.
But he was unable to clear his airway, and Mike suffocated.
The story's really getting me in the squeams. Boy.
Yeah, hit me right between.
I didn't know you had squeams.
Right in the squeams.
You didn't seem squeamish.
Oh yeah, I got squeams for days.
Do you think they ate him, or did they give him a proper?
No way. He's got to be stuffed or something.
Personally,
Actually, truth be told, they probably.
Well, you know what?
His
grandson actually said that he thought that they probably just threw it in the desert for the coyotes to get.
No,
really?
Yeah.
Come on,
for Mike.
Well, and for years and years and years, Lloyd would not admit that was how Mike died. Only in his infirmity and old age did he confess that was what had happened.
It just tortured him his whole life. It was just like, guys,
he was like,
I gotta tell.
I let Mike die. It was my fault. I got drunk. I woke up and Mike was a choking. I left my syringe at the bar. I'm praying to a chicken, people. Please. I'm on my knees.
He just used to tell people that he sold it to some guy, that rich buyer that was not let it go and persisted when he was on the side.
So he basically did the whole, we put it to a farm upstate that's living a wonderful life.
It's in chicken heaven. We've had to flush that chicken into chicken heaven. I don't know if you guys hear that. There's a storm blowing in. We're not going to have time really to kill the chickens.
I hate these microbursts.
So we're going to have to get into the tent. Let's just hastily arrange the tent.
Okay.
All right. Move it away from the fire, and let's just try to...
if this fire goes out, it's going to get really creepy out here.
Yeah, it's going to be way darker.
And the fire's now out. Okay, everyone take...
Grab a chicken!
Grab the chicken!
It's still raw!
They're still alive!
They're still alive.
Bring the chickens into the tent!
That would be raw! I guess raw is the top level of raw. You can't be more raw than alive!
Come on, little chicken darlings!
Everyone's in
the tent.
Secure the legs up from the inside. This is really hard to build the tent from the
I
inside.
hate tents.
This is not a mosquito net. This is more like a whaling net or
I know,
something.
they're
like
not.
that.
It's not. Okay. Okay.
A net to catch whales?
I can put my head through one of these little holes.
Just patch
That'd
it.
be bigger than a whale would
This
need.
is not going to stop anything from getting in here.
It's okay. Let's just try to.
Okay, just buffer the wind sides and whatever the thing is, because I've never camped.
My side's buckling!
Push the water out. My feet are all wet now. There's mud everywhere.
And there's like 8 chickens running around here.
Okay. Wait, let's take a break. Make sure that the recording equipment isn't getting wet. Thank you.
This is getting trampled by chickens.
It is getting a lot of chicken trample.
You are listening to Fort Fritz. Scoot-daddle now. Scoot-daddle. Hey, get here, chicken. You stupid chicken.
I'm naming this one Mike.
Hey, don't insult them.
Welcome back to Fort Fritz. We are in the middle of a torrential downpour in our tent that is sinking quicker than the Titanic, y'all. We are taking icebergs of water and rain, and
icebergs
things
of water
are not looking good.
Could you be more redundant?
That is hail.
That'd be really big hail. That's when you get to iceberg size hail.
It's the biggest.
That's pretty much an extinction level event when you get to iceberg size hail.
It's big. It's huge. A lot of hail.
You've never seen an iceberg, have you?
I've never seen one.
Have you ever seen a golf ball?
I've seen a couple.
Okay, they're about the same size.
Really?
Yeah.
We are getting golf balls of icebergs of hail. A lot of water coming in.
At least I think damn chickens left.
Yeah,
I think
we got most of the chickens out of the tent, which is a good thing, I guess, except for unless you're a chicken.
Yeah,
horrible for chickens, great for us.
What's the one chicken doing over there in the corner?
I was trying to make a buck.
Oh my God! What did you do to that chicken?
What'd you do
Nick Spry?
Well, we were gonna have dinner anyways. So.
Oh,
he doesn't have a face.
Oh, give the chicken some gravy water. There's only one way.
You're gonna clog its mucus.
No. Gravy water is a cure-all for all. Give it all.
Don't give him any more.
It's like the Robitussin of the new age. Just give him some gravy water.
I reiterate, don't give him any more gravy water.
You've been giving him gravy water already.
Yeah, you got to on break for a long time.
Oh, okay, so he's fine. There's no way you're gonna be able to kill that thing.
I don't think he's just not moving because he's really, really in the water right now.
He's in it. He's deep in the water.
Oh, okay. So he's drowned, is what you're saying.
Well, and he doesn't have a face. That might have been part of it. He could still.
What happened to this chicken's face?
I don't know where the actual face went. I kind of lost it after that lightning strike and kind of got scared and threw it out through that whale net of a mosquito net that you have.
This is
at least it's keeping the chickens out.
I wanted one thing to go right tonight, and all I wanted, and now it's spooky dark. I can't even see anything.
Shocker.
We have no light. All I wanted was to be able to kill chickens for you guys and cook some chickens. And now I can't
right
even do
neighborly
that.
of you. That's right neighborly of you.
Well,
you're willing to end the life of animals for our sustenance.
I wanted you guys to be happy. Now I guess no one's gonna be happy, especially this damn old chicken.
I'm happy.
Or the fact that it's completely dark and raining and we're all huddled in a tent.
It sounds like the forest is alive out there, though.
I know it's.
What about the forest?
It's alive out there.
Why would you say a forest is alive?
Full of trees and living animals.
Yeah, animals like there's
trees are alive
and critters and.
So every time I think I'm completely frightened, someone has to bring up something else that makes me way more frightened.
What do you mean?
Have you guys ever heard of Aokigahara?
I'm sorry?
Aokigahara.
No, I hate. Nope.
New anime on Netflix?
Well, it sounds like it could be, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's something based on it on Netflix that's coming out right now.
Okay.
But let me tell you about the Aokigahara, which I'm saying I'm totally just destroying that name because, as I brought up earlier, I'm from Florida.
Sounds good.
Let me tell you a little story. At the base of Mount Fuji is found the Aokigahara, the Sea of Trees, also known as the Suicide Forest.
No.
Yeah, that's why when you said the forest is alive, I wasn't real happy. Now, this location has become the number 1 place for suicide in Japan and number 2 in the world. The number 1 being the Golden Gate Bridge.
I was going to ask, man, we got the number 1 in America?
We're number 1. We're number 1 and we're not
USA.
too happy about it.
I'm actually kind of sad.
Yeah, I know. The forest itself is called the Sea of Trees due to the denseness of the vegetation. The trees bend, twist, and intertwine, and the floor is covered in a lattice of roots and vines. Certain areas are so dense that light and wind can barely filter through, creating an extremely somber mood.
It's getting a lot of good fertilization from all the...
Oh, yeah. That's why it continues. It has its own ecosphere almost.
And this is where? This is located?
At the base of Mount Fuji in Japan.
Obviously not the tourist side.
You'd be surprised. People venture to this area a lot.
Ooh.
And one visitor described the silence as chasms of emptiness. And she said that it was so silent that her breath sounded like a roar.
Wow.
Now, because of the ambience and other factors to be discussed a little later, it has become a destination to those wishing to leave this life. Not only does the density of the forest make navigation difficult, because of high concentrations of iron and other metals in the soil, because it's at the base of a volcano and there's a lot of lava, old lava in there. Mm-hmm. Old lava. How you doing? My name's Old Lava. Cell phones and GPS devices almost fail. Cell phones and GPS devices often fail in the area. Officials perform yearly searches for bodies and tend to find up to 100 corpses a year.
A year?
Wow.
A year. And so this is now routine for them.
This is like a job of some guy has to get up in the morning and be like, all right.
Oh, no, wait. Is this like a once a year sweep where they're like,
every day they got to go out?
Or is it like somebody's like, oh shit, it's Wednesday?
Well, no, as I explain later, there are people out there constantly trying to look for people trying to kill themselves as counselors and stuff. But they do a once a year full on sweep with multiple people they go through just trying to clean out all the corpses.
Man,
and so they're like up to 100 a year. Now,
they find.
Now, some say the reason that became the popular space it was because there's a 1961 novel called Kirai Jukai, once again, destroying the name.
Nailed it.
Where a heartbroken lover enters the forest to end her life and popularized the sad tradition of the suicide forest. To add gasoline to the fire, a 1993 book called, check this out, The Complete Suicide Manual.
Wow.
Someone came to a publisher and said, hey, I got the Complete Suicide Manual. And they're like, bring it. That sounds like a seller.
Yeah, but it's such a prevalent thing in Japanese culture. There's a movie Suicide Club.
Yeah, it's not.
And that's been an issue because of things like the seppuku with the samurais and
Harry Carey.
Harry Carey. That's
seppuku.
Seppuku. Excuse me. And it's looked as sometimes with especially with an older generation that it's looked at as a way to solve your problems or to admit your mistakes.
Yep.
Wow.
They're like, oh, he killed himself? Oh, well, good for him. And so that's, not the best way to have a society. I'm just guessing. Now, in the Complete Suicide Manual, it calls the suicide forest the perfect place to die. Wow. To which officials have overseen the forest responded, thanks. Since its release...
5 stars.
5 stars would totally die again.
Would die again.
Totally die again.
It's like national historic parks and people give it 1 star and it's like, I don't know why this hunk of dump was ever relegated to National Park Service. It sucks.
People get mad at forests. My stepmother once said that she doesn't even consider the Atlantic a real ocean. And I said, did you just diss an entire ocean? I mean, seriously, an entire ocean. Meh.
That's a pettiness right there. Yeah. That is petty.
Now, since its release, back on track.
Let's do it.
Now, since the release of the Complete Suicide Manual, The manual has been found at dozens of locations of suicide victims in the forest. So people would take the book with them into the forest. It would be found next to their corpse. However, these books aren't the only source of the Suicide Forest's eerie legacy. In the past, during times of famine, families would practice ubasute. Once again, destroying it, ubasute. In this practice, families would lessen the number of mouths to feed by taking elderly family members and basically dropping them off in a secluded location and leaving them to die from either dehydration, starvation, or exposure.
What is that called? Like
the Last Hunt?
Ancestry. It was on that episode of Dinosaurs. When
it's called Screw You, Grandma. That's what it's called.
Normally, you're supposed to take on that responsibility as, the grandma or grandpa. You put on your big shawl and you're like, all right, kids, I'm going out to find you some whatever. I'll be back. And they know.
Man, you have some messed up family reunions, Kaz.
They're small. Those people are...
Real easy to cater. Real easy to cater.
We just get a couple of footlongs.
How many people are going to be there? One less.
Just go down to the Philly Cheesecake Factory and...
They would leave their family members to die from either dehydration, starvation, or exposure. And the Suicide Forest became a popular location for this grim practice. Many claim the ghosts of hundreds of elderly people now haunt the forest. Hikers have claimed to hear disembodied voices that whisper to them. You didn't hear that? Okay. All right, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe it was the chicken. Now, the voices would attempt to lead them deeper into the forest, and even sometimes encourage suicide.
Jesus.
It's even been said that the forest is the home to the Tenju, bird-like demons who float through the trees as spectral beings, who just glide between the trees and terrify anyone around them.
Yeah.
Because they're demon birds.
Yeah.
Normally a bird's not so terrifying. Demon birds who glide through trees.
Birds are normally...
Kaz immediately goes, 1 and 1 is 2. That's a demon bird. He immediately accepted that demon bird is the only plausible outcome. Nope. That's a demon
totally.
bird.
Demon bird.
That's a demon bird.
Wait, what's going on with that chicken over there?
Oh.
Every time we said demon bird, it seemed to move a lot more.
He is fine. Come on, guys.
What'd you name him?
Wait. Let's watch. Demon bird.
Oh, he likes that.
I didn't see anything jump.
Look at him dance.
Demon bird. Okay.
All right, I saw that time.
All right,
It's fine.
Okay.
Just leave Rudolfo alone.
Okay. All right, let's try to refocus. Let's get through this storm with me telling y'all a horrible story about
down Rudolfo.
Demons in a forest while we're inside a forest in a tent with no fire.
I don't like this.
What could go wrong? Now, as people enter the Suicide Forest and still have doubt, they often will trail a roll of tape behind them so they can find their way out if they decide not to kill themselves. Because of this, park rangers now will have to follow these tape trails throughout the wood.
Oh my God.
And sadly, more times than not, at the end of this trail will be a grisly scene. And the number one method of suicide in the forest is hanging. With pills being second. And when they hang themselves, it's not with a thick rope like you'd imagine. It's with a thin twine that they can carry with themselves. So they'll have to do 12 or more loops around the tree.
Fishing wire or something like that?
No, thicker than that. Like twine. A twine, a shoestring.
Like a jute?
But they'll have to do 13, 14 around. And so and you can go on YouTube and you'll see plenty of videos that will keep you awake forever. Because of the reputation of the forest, signs are actually placed throughout the area. And the signs attempt to remind people that their lives are a gift from their parents and to think of their children and families before doing anything rash.
That's good. That's positive.
Every few yards you'll see these signs. Not that I vacationed there because I was having a bad weekend or anything. I've got issues!
I know. It's okay. Just finish the story, please.
There are even phone stations scattered about that link to suicide prevention centers. Rangers patrol the forest looking for people camping. Usually, camping is an indication that they may be having doubts because, if you're going to do it, most people go on and do it. But people will actually go out there and camp and contemplate it for a long time. And this is where you hear the stories of the ghosts coming and speaking to them and hearing the sounds in the forest. Not that we're in a forest, in a tent, in the dark right now.
I don't like this.
Do you have a phone station nearby, Fritz?
No, I don't have anything.
Wait, check. See if you have phone cell. Do you have service? Do you have service?
I got no bars.
What about Rodolfo?
See,
Nope,
while researching this,
no
I
bars.
watched a documentary where they found a man who had been living in the forest for a month off nothing but liquids, just drinking nothing but liquids.
Okay.
And they luckily got him out, and he survived. Luckily, so we might have a chance.
All right.
Now, and like we talked about, it's just that they're trying to change the view that of the old Japanese culture about suicide. To take it away from it being an honorable way to die at all. And because, for example, to show how it's still affecting them, after the 2008 financial crisis, in January 2009, there were recorded 2,645 suicides.
Damn.
What, in January?
Yeah, just in January alone. Because of the financial crisis and people feeling like they have,
no reason to live.
Dishonored their family.
Jeez.
And so they're with education, PR outreach, ads, and, just things denouncing the act of suicide. They're trying to do everything they can to, change the culture of suicide in Japan. However, now, with the release last year of a film called The Forest, that tells the tale of a woman going to the suicide forest to find her troubled twin sister, the legend and, sadly, the allure of the suicide forest seems far from over.
Man, that is creepy and very sad. Very lonesome and sad and depressing.
It does not seem to be like the number one fun time vacation hotspot, shall we say.
We had, and now because we haven't eaten any food, this sounds delicious, but the Swamp Cabbage Man.
Wait, what sounded delicious?
Swamp Cabbage Man did sound delicious
Swamp
for
cabbage?
a second.
Was it the swamp or the cabbage of the man that sounded delicious?
Swamp
like the inside
cabbage.
of the egg roll.
So Swamp Cabbage Man sounds like this guy who could, destroy anything he wanted to.
He's a big man or a big ape for sure.
A white furry ape with red eyes.
Or dark, or I might even submit that there could be multiple. Maybe we're seeing a society,
like a family or a society is terrifying. I was about to say a clan, but a society
that goes
it
down.
It would be a troop of skunk ape,
an enclave,
a troop of ape, and this thing also smelled like
just death,
awful.
like awful.
Yeah, okay.
And that's the sort of unifying theme is it always is stinky and it's always big.
And then we have this
big and stinky
chicken that should have been dead 18 months before it did die.
Miracle Mike, man.
Poor thing, it was just mutilated.
Poor thing, but it was relatively well cared for.
He had a life that
like
most chickens would probably envy, I'd imagine.
They would probably
if they had sensory input. Who doesn't want that life?
Valid.
And speaking of which, that chicken over there in the corner is still not quite out of
He's
it.
kicking around,
Rodolfo is now my new neck rest. So just
what
leave him
now?
be.
The chicken, the chicken is now named Rodolfo.
Rodolfo.
And then we have the Suicide Forest.
Fun.
Aokigahara.
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 I don't know.
Aokigahara.
And this will be the third time I've referenced it. I'm from Florida.
Aokigahara.
Aokigahara. Aokigahara.
Spooky place.
Very spooky.
Yeah.
That's all you
And
got to
we're
say.
extremely honky.
We are in a forest.
Awesome is that we're in a forest. We're in a forest after talking about the Suicide Forest with ghosts and winged demons that glide through the trees, and you describe that as awesome.
All I got to say is let's just pack up everything and get out of here, please. Please just pack up everything.
Who's going to grab that chicken?
Break the tent.
You named him.
Here, Rodolfo.
He does have a little cute personality.
How is he following his voice when he has no ears? He's doing it. It's eerie. It's eerie. You get it?
Yeah.
He has no ears. Because he has no ears, so it's eerie.
That's really funny.
Good boy. Let's go to the chicken joint.
Yep, let's go. Let's walk up.
Yeah.
Let's walk
You're going to
back
take your
up
new
to the
pet
house.
chicken to the chicken joint.
It's okay. Yeah, all are welcome there at the chicken joint. Let's just walk back up to the house. The front porch light is still on. All right, now we're back in the house. It's as easy as that. Let's go get some chicken. You're listening to Fort Fritz.